We are talking some of the greatest films of all time today. What's up, guys? My name is Ryan. Welcome to my channel. Last night I was able to see the live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon, so today I'm going to rank that film along with the awesome animated trilogy. How to Train Your Dragon is my favorite animated film series of all time. Almost everything about it is phenomenal. So well done. It's so emotionally powerful, so cute, so fun, so funny, great characters. So I'm just gonna jump right into this, so hope y'all enjoy this video and leave your ranking of the How to Train Your Dragon films down below as well, and tell me what you think about them. Would absolutely love to talk about these films with you guys. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you have not seen any of the How to Train Your Dragon films, first off, what are you doing watching my video? Go watch them. And second off, don't watch this video. And if you don't care, keep going. In last place for me is going to be the live-action remake, How to Train Your Dragon 2025. This was a tricky film for me to kind of review and give a score to, because it's pretty much a shot-for-shot remake of the original. So it is a really stinking good film. It got an emotional rise out of me. It's the same story, it's the same score, which are both phenomenal. I ended up enjoying a lot of the performances more than I thought I would, especially Mason Thames and Nico Parker as Hiccup and Astrid. But everything this film gave me, I can get in the original, and I think the original just does it better. There are a few moments here where it felt like they were trying too hard to copy the original. Some of the delivery of the lines and the performances just rang very hollow. It felt very fake at times. This film does have a few new scenes, a few new added lines of dialogue, but nothing like phenomenal that added so much to the story or anything like that. I would never choose to rewatch this film on my own. If I'm ever in the mood to watch How to Train Your Dragon, I would never choose this film over the original. Not a bad film at all, but I'm sticking with the original all the way. Significantly above that, at number 3, I have How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. Overall, great conclusion to the original animated trilogy. Very emotional. It has a fantastic story, I think, to conclude the trilogy. When I found out the plot of this film and saw the trailers, I was like, that seems like a perfect story to end this trilogy. Toothless finally finds another Night Fury, but not just any Night Fury. He finds a female Night Fury, a Light Fury. Seeing the relationship between them is actually really fun and cute and very entertaining. Seeing Hiccup and his friends grow up in this film, and seeing both Hiccup and Toothless have to grow up, seeing them have to go their separate ways at the end is very heartbreaking. I've never cried at a movie or TV show, but there are a few times where I've come close, and each one of these 3 original animated films are times where I've come close. And a lot of moments in this third film and in the second film mean a lot more if you've watched the TV show, or I guess TV shows, Riders and Defenders of Berk and Race to the Edge, which combined make one of my favorite shows of all time. Just getting to spend so much time with these great characters in those shows makes certain moments like Hiccup and Toothless having to go their separate ways so much more emotionally powerful, because you've spent so much time with these characters at that point. If you have not seen those TV shows, I definitely recommend them. They are really good, a lot of fun. Grimmel, I thought, was a good villain. He is the reason for the extinction of the Night Furies. This is a really good film, but I do have a couple problems with it. It doesn't feel as emotionally powerful as the first 2 most of the time. I think the first 2 films are consistently emotionally powerful, but this third movie, it's only super emotionally powerful, like, in the ending, which it manages to stick for the most part. But I do have one significant problem with the ending. The final scene itself is phenomenal. It's fantastic. I'm a sucker for those types of endings where Hiccup and Astrid get married, then years later we see them with their kids visiting Toothless and the Light Fury, and we see that they have kids now too, and they get to ride together. Fantastic way, fantastic final scene for this film. But the moment that bothers me a lot is when Hiccup decides to send all the dragons away to the hidden world to hide until humanity can learn to live in peace with dragons, you know, to protect them and keep them safe. But I'm like, if the goal is to help humanity learn how to live peacefully with dragons, how are they gonna do that without any dragons around? Like, does that bother anyone else? If you send the dragons away and hide and humanity finds them again, they're gonna be so freaked out. We all know how humanity works. It's different, they don't know what it is, it's scary. They're gonna hunt those dragons down and try to kill them. They're gonna think you're going back to before Hiccup and Toothless met in the original film, and humanity's gonna be against dragons and be scared of them, try to hunt them down and kill them. But if you keep dragons around, humanity is going to learn how to live more peacefully with dragons, and that doesn't make any sense in my mind. I was talking to some friends of mine recently about this film, actually, and my problem with the ending, and I was like, am I crazy, or does that not make any sense? And one of my friends goes, actually, yeah, the logic isn't logicking. And I was like, yes, thank you. Other than that, this is such a great film. Like I said, great conclusion to the franchise, but like I said, not as consistently emotionally powerful as the first two films, and I have a big problem with part of the ending. Our runner-up at number 2, is it gonna be the first one or the second one? It is the first one, How to Train Your Dragon. I've said it many times before, I'll say it again, this is as close to a perfect movie as you can get. This film is almost flawless. It does almost everything so well, so phenomenal, it's so emotionally powerful. You relate to Hiccup and Toothless so much. It is an underdog story. It is the classic boy and his dog story, probably the best boy and his dog story ever. The relationship between Hiccup and Toothless reminds you of your relationship with your pets. We have 4 dogs of our own currently at my house, and we have had many before the 4 we have now. So watching this film just reminds me of my relationship with all my pets that I have had and currently have. And I've heard that when putting this film together, the team working on this film and trying to get Toothless's behavior and mannerisms down, they studied a bunch of different animals, primarily dogs, cats, horses. So of course Toothless is gonna remind you of your favorite pet, probably. But Hiccup in the story with his dad is so relatable as well. I feel like there are a lot of parent-kid relationships out there that are similar to Hiccup and Stoic, where they just don't understand each other, they won't listen to each other. And come the end of the film, where Stoic and Hiccup apologize to each other and finally listen to and understand each other, is so heartwarming. It's so great. Seeing Hiccup find and train Toothless and getting to ride him is so much fun. It makes you want to have a pet dragon like Toothless of your own and get to ride him and fly through the sky. Like I said before, this score is probably the greatest score I've ever heard in a film. The music fits whatever scene it's a part of so well. All the characters are great in this film, especially Hiccup and Astrid. I love their relationship. They are one of my favorite couples in any TV show or movie I've ever watched. This is such a great introduction to this world. When I saw this film, I was like, that is prime for a series. And I'm so glad we did get multiple series, because every time I watch this film, I'm like, I need to spend way more time with these characters. And the show gives you plenty of time, plenty of development with these characters. It is so well done. Just getting to explore this world more and discover and learn about so many more dragon species is so much fun. A lot of the species that we see and get to learn about in the series are talked about or mentioned or referenced in this film. It just makes you so interested and intrigued to explore this world more. There are a couple moments in this film that didn't work for me, didn't totally make sense to me, but that's fine. They're minor things. It doesn't really bother me too much. This is as close to a perfect film as you can get. I did not know how they were able to top this with my number 1, but number 1 is How to Train Your Dragon 2. I don't know how they managed to make 2 as close to perfect films as you can get in a row, but somehow they managed to top the original. This one is one of the most emotional films I've ever watched. It blew me away the first time that I saw it, somehow even more than the first one. I'm a guy who usually loves sequels because we don't have to worry about establishing the world and the characters and all that. This film doesn't have to worry about wrapping up the story either. This is just a great middle installment. We can just worry about great character development and going on a fun, epic journey. This film looks beautiful. It's such a cool environment, no pun intended, to spend time in. Getting to see Hiccup and his friends and Toothless all grow up, the conclusion of this film where Hiccup becomes chief and Toothless becomes king of the dragons is just absolutely so powerful. It's so well done. It is a brilliant move, I thought. Getting to see Hiccup find his mother and lose his father is so heartwarming and heartbreaking. One of my favorite scenes in this whole trilogy is when Stoic and Valka find each other again and they dance and sing together. That song for the dancing and the dreaming is on my playlist. I love it. I love the relationship between Hiccup and Astrid. I love how supportive Astrid is of Hiccup. Once again, getting to see the love between Hiccup and Toothless is just so heartwarming. It almost makes me cry, like I said. The music here is phenomenal. I really can't think of any negatives about the film, really. I guess maybe our villain here, Drago, he's a good villain, but I don't think he's like the greatest, most well-developed villain ever. That's probably one thing I'll say about this franchise, is it never really has a great villain, I think. But that's okay, because you don't really care much about the villains. All you care about is these characters, the relationship between Hiccup and Toothless. Ever since this film came out in 2014 up until about 2022, I believe, I would have said this is my favorite animated film of all time. But then Puss in Boots 2 came out, and I was like, ooh, I need to watch these films back to back, because now I never thought How to Train Your Dragon 2 would have competition, but Puss in Boots: The Last Wish really competes. I really don't know anymore. I cannot express how much I love this film and this trilogy. I cannot recommend these films enough. But there you have it, all 4 How to Train Your Dragon films ranked, in my opinion. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Once again, leave your thoughts and your ranking of the How to Train Your Dragon films down below. Would love to have a conversation with y'all about these awesome films. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a good one, guys.